Linda, I think has been a very important session, not just for us in the sporting sector, but men in general. How do you look back at the conversations here, and also maybe how do they impact on you as people involved in football, personalities, but also just generally people who are in the limelight?
Yeah, man. I think, like I mentioned, I think where we are, Ngempilo, where people celebrate us, to us, I'm a celebrity, where young ones look up to us, and even older ones, and how we move. I think we should be using our voice to help change society, to help make a world a better place. And that's where we are as Ulinda, partnering with the No Excuse, and just putting a stop into gender-based violence, into abusing our women and children, and just helping create, better role models in the future. Teenage young adults, and the next generation, so that in the near future, this could be put to bed. Change society, how things are actually done. So, for me, I think I'm happy, to be here. Because the values that Excuse hold are the same values that I hold, are the same values that my club is Sekhukhune United hold. So everything aligns. So it is just using my voice for something bigger than Linda Mntambo, something bigger than Yoni No Excuse, something bigger than Sekhukhune United. It is wanting to change and change how we see our society, and wanting to make it a better place.
Or maybe how can football be used more effectively to curb GBV, but also to fight it, especially when you consider that, from the incidents that we've seen, most of the men would be those who have got some sort of connection to the game, especially as the supporters as well. Abanye futhi ke ayabamba nala eglasini futhi.
Look, man, to be honest, that's why I think we are privileged to be last call. And I think we should be the people that are walking the talk. When it also comes to fashion, something that I'm passionate about, every time I'd put on an outfit, maybe that's why I partner with a lot of fashion brands, because I've got the influence. And soccer-loving people, youngsters, when they look at me, but hey, Nati, we want that outfit. So what is it that I can do, Naomi, to help influence, not just how I present myself, but how I carry myself as Linda Mntambo, as a father, as a husband, as a community leader. Like I mentioned, I'm not just Ulinda, who's a footballer, because I believe that I'm a footballer for 90 minutes. And after that, I still need to be a bigger person in society. Hence, maybe the birth of Linda Mntambo Foundation, where we look at solving some of the social, aspects as Nazo, as communities. So trying to bring out more youngsters to be inspired. I won't come to futhi uyophinda adlala ibhola, but how do we pave a way right and just take them away from izinto ezirong ezenzakalayo?
Maybe just to be more specific, what do you guys at Linda Mntambo Foundation offer?
Yeah, one of the important things that we offer is a platform. We contribute to grassroots development in sports, where we give young boys a platform to showcase their talent. But in doing that, that's where we bring in abantu abafana nesanka, to bring in awareness and teach these young kids of substance and just drug abuse, and together gender-based violence, how they should carry themselves. Because Dilana Bafana, I think at some point everybody was worried or taking care of the girl child and being the boy child. But later, they're the same people who are, perpetrators of gender-based violence. So for us is as young as they are, and try show them indlela right, finally be happy.
And I see you are very much into fashion as well.
Yeah.
And what inspires that?
It's just how I express myself. It's something that I've loved from a young age, and now I'm just using that through my social media platforms, to show the world, what I also like, besides playing football, some of the things that I get up to when I'm not on the football field. So it is a passion of mine, and hopefully in the near future I could start up a brand and given a branding cool, partner with big brands and just, learn more, about fashion.
Do you feel that sometimes this can be misunderstood, or there's this stigma that no, a footballer should be this kind of a person, and when you come with this kind of style, people kind of don't relate, but we see that in other sporting codes or even in other areas around the world, these things are common.
Yeah, people misinterpret that, but people, they will adapt. I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing it for me. I'm just in my own lane, doing what I do best. Like I said, I'm a footballer for 90 minutes, but after that, there's also a human element, Ulinda, that he does have. So whatever that I do in terms of fashion, I think people will learn. I want to understand what fashion is vast, and fashion has got no limits. That's why the other day people were mocking me on social media when I wore a male dress, which is a kilt. So many of them were like, "How it's so taboo. Do men wear that?" But it's because they don't have the knowledge about fashion. So now I think with what I'm doing is just to give them a bit of knowledge, and teach them this is how fashion is.
I think I saw it Nami that other day, and it was trending,
Yeah.
and I guess also the showbiz style is all about that, because you find that we have to make football fashionable, because through that the game has gained maybe another supporter who might not have necessarily, and then, because the next thing now they want to say, man, let me watch this football player, you understand, and then they see you playing football.
No, look, man, the game has changed. Whether we like it or not, teams make revenue through selling merchandise. So that's fashion. Football jerseys now are not only worn to the stadium. People wear them, to show their fashion sense. So I think it's just up to us now to continue in that vein. And look, man, do what makes you happy. I think there's just too much that the world demands from us. Like right now, we're trying to solve gender-based violence, which is something that's important, but also take care of you, do the things that make you happy. So I think that's the direction we are taking. But besides that, I've been privileged to have been part of the player transition cause, a dream of Dr. Ivan Khoza. It was his vision over the years, and he thought that he wants to bring it back, bring it into the country, to give players knowledge and skill that can equip themselves for life after football. And one of the modules, core modules, was personal branding. So I actually enjoyed that, understood that I'm not just a footballer, I am more than that, I'm a brand, and I need to carry myself in that vein, how I present myself to Abantu. Hence, the brands that partner with me, it is because I am showing them that I'm more than just a footballer, I am.
Have you actually already pinned down in terms of post-retirement, this is the line that you're following?
No, not necessarily, but I've got so many things that I would love to do. One of the things that I love to do is, speaking the game, analyzing the game. When I watch the game at home, I think I can now watch it from a coach's point of view, just seeing my weaknesses and advantages that teams could have. So maybe that, just to educate people at home to understand how the game works, because people sometimes, from la phezulu balekha phezulu, that the important players are the ones that score goals, but before you goal ilkorwa liya creator, from build up to the consolidation phase, going to the final third, then there's an assist of an assist. So it's just so many things that I would love to do. So hopefully a course in analysis where I could be maybe a pundit in the near future, and speak football.
I think I can spot a role for you, and it's not being an analyst.
Yeah.
It's doing what Brighton is doing, because I feel that you can be with other pundits, but driving anchoring
Yeah.
the conversation, because you've got that in you, and I think that if you look at Gary Lineker, people who you can drive the conversation better.
Yeah.
So maybe just do a 6-month journalism course, uthi but that's a story for another day.
No, thank
Let's
you.
come to Sekhukhune. How do you see things? I mean, the team, top 3, top 4. What can you say about your season so far?
No, I think we've had a fairly good season. And one thing about us is the mandate yet has been pretty clear ever since I joined the team, that we need to better where we left off. And this season is, last season we were position 4, so we just want to better that. We are not thinking of winning the league, or being second. If we could get third, which is a sport better than what we got last season, that would have been a successful season for us. So from where we are, I think we are still on the right track. We just need to, keep pushing, keep getting the results, taking it a game at a time. And yeah, I think games are coming in thick and fast. We have an away match to a tough Stellenbosch team, who are doing extremely well. Just the other day they beat Amazulu 5. So it's going to be a tough task for us as a team. But I think we have enough ammunition, to get the points, away in Cape Town. We are led by a good technical team, Coach Lihlono Siema together with Kaitano Tembo, a young, enthusiastic Paulos Masea, who is, for us, I think he's a coach, but we still see him as one of us as players, because he's young and, he's got new ways of doing things. So I think we are blessed, to be led by our technical team. And with management, and the chairman of the club, what they are doing, in bringing us the kind of players that are coming through to the team is just quite incredible to see.
I've not seen you starting in practice. Were you coming from an injury, or is it kind of the role that you are playing in now?
No, I'm always a team player. When coaches feel that I need to start a match, I'm always ready to do that. And sometimes you win the game from the bench, and at times I've been brought on from the bench, to influence the game, and I've done pretty much that. And I still continue to knock into the starting lineup. We've got quality players in our team, and nobody's guaranteed a spot. And ever since I joined the team, everyone plays on merit. It's not who you are or what you've done in the past. It's what you give on training on the day that gets you a spot into the starting lineup.
And how important is that, Linda? Because sometimes, I think as the media, as the fans, once a player starts not to get regular action, we've got a lot to say. Or once a player reaches a certain age, how important, as the player yourself, the acceptance of where you are now, and also, as you say, what kind of role and how you are going to be utilized?
Yeah, man. I don't think as a player you must accept you'll be coming on from the bench. Every day you go to training, you should be fighting to get into the starting lineup, and that's what I do. It's how I take care of myself. Hence the extra training I do. In my home personal gym, and I just want to improve. Allow the coaches to also help better my game. And age for me now, it is just a number. How you take care of your body, the right liquids, the right foods that you put in, the rest, and just how you see the game will always help you. So I'm in that phase of my life where I will keep fighting. I'll keep pushing, and I'm not one to just accept ukuthi awa ichayile. No. I'm just gonna give the game the best that I can, and do better.
And lastly, there's a player that I've always wanted to know about. There's this other game. I think you also came on in that game. The engine of this boy, whether he's overlapping or underlapping, Vuyo Letlapa. Tell us more about him and his growth in his first season in top flight football.
Yeah, Bona, I think he's done well for himself. He's adapted. He's hit the ground running. But Vuyo comes from the school of Jomo Cosmos. Where I come from, he comes from a good coaching, somebody who is easily can spot talent. You know, I think Uprache is one who unearths talent. He's unearthed so much talent in the country. And just the other day I saw an article where Prache said Vuyo is by far the best left back in the country. And I had a conversation with him. Vuyo ngati, I hope you saw what Prache said about you. And that's just a huge responsibility on your shoulders to make sure that you live up to what he had just said in an interview. So he is just, one for the future. I think if you look at the modern game, fullbacks have become playmakers of teams. And he is showing that with the assists that he's giving. We won 3-0 against Supersport, and he gave on 2 assists for Andy Boyeli, to score his hat-trick. So that shows you how good he is. And yeah, man, I'm happy for him and the direction he's taking.
Andy Boyeli,
yeah.
What a player.
Beautiful. I think the future is bright. I think if he keeps his feet on the ground, listens to his teammates, to the coaches, he will contribute for the team immensely.